Dear students, welcome to our practical regular class of English. So today we'll talk about the letter writing in English, considering informal letter. So letter writing is one kind of activity referred to the just written communication. So letter writing is not so easy in comparison with such activities, for example, just making a list, a shopping list, or writing the telephone, sending telephone messages, etc. Now, firstly, let's talk about letter and letter writing advantages. What is a letter? So you know that a letter is a written message, and it should be done among two persons, for example, two recipients or two partners, and you can send it by means of email or post in an envelope, etc. As for the letter writing advantages, so it is very important, students, because the composition of your letter will depend on your the scope of your knowledge. So the better you know the vocabulary notes or lexics, the better will be your written letter. So let's consider some advantages. For example, the first one, the vocabulary structure in the letter may be taken from the student's own learned material. Let's talk about the second one at once. The letters may be short and simple in form and style, gradually increasing in length and complexity as the students progress. What does it mean? It means if you want to write a good letter in very full and complete in vocabulary and structure, and in form and style, keeping the form and its form and style, and if you want to make your letter long or very compound, so it will necessary to know much about in English, many things in English, because the more scope of your knowledge, as I said before, so the better will be your letter composed. And the letter writing assignments may vary according to the type and style. It will be selected by me, by a teacher, or by students. The very significant thing, and I think the best one, that the letter can be corrected at the time when you want to do it, and to be kept in your vocabulary notes, in your notebooks, and then you will use it again. There are two types of letters, so social letter and business letter, and both of them can be divided into formal and informal letters. Let's start from social letter. So again, it's a written letter which you will use, for example, which is used among very close persons, for example, friends or relatives, etc. Or at a special, you will send it on a special event. The kinds of letters, it can be invitation letter, or thank you, bread and butter letter, congratulatory letter, condolence letter, etc. As far as business letter, so it is very strict in composition, in form, in comparison with the social letter. And this letter will be written and sent to business persons, business partners, correspondents. And the types of such kind of business letters are like orders, quotations, claims, complaints, etc. And the most important thing is letter format. It means how we'll compose the letter, which is to be sent to someone. For this purpose, we should know the basic components or basic parts of the letter. So any letter starts with salutation, corresponding to introduction of the letter, the general message corresponding to body, and closing and signature corresponding to conclusion. And right now we'll get down to information about informal letter. It is like social letter. It is very. It will be sent to very close people, close persons. It is because it's a personal letter. It is used for personal communication. So it doesn't have a very strict pattern or format like the business letter. So the writer wishes and the requirements of salutation is to be done in this kind of letter. So there are, as I said before, so you can read it to your send to your friends, relatives, acquaintances, etc., etc. Informal letter starts with address. It should be noted that the first thing, it is the first thing to write, that you will put the address on the left-hand side of the page at the very top. And just after this point, you will put the date. It will be fixed below the address. You write the date. The starting of the letter is a salutation, and it will be placed on the left margin. If you know the persons very close, so you start from the words dear Asel, for example, dear Ashat, dear Miss Salima, etc. Next one will be introduction paragraph. It is just the beginning of the letter, and how will start your letter? So the better will be the start of the letter, the better will be the continuation of writing the letter, because it is some kind of the tone of the whole letter. You must begin by asking the recipient about his health, well-being, family, friends, etc. Next part is the basic part of the letter. It's the body of the letter. So it contains the main message, as I said before. So here you will introduce yourself, fix the purpose of the letter, and then at the end you will conclude it. The conclusion often maybe is simple, just thank you for the reader's attention. And in conclusion, it's necessary to make your efforts in order to include the conclusive paragraph, which will attract the reader's, the recipient's attention. You may use the words of, for example, invitation of the recipient to your place, or saying thanks, and because it will show intention to keep the conversation going. It is, for example, it's like not the last welcoming of a recipient, and you would like to see him and to be in contact with him more. And the last point, you will put the signature. Since they do not follow strict format, so you may sign off as you please. But be careful that after all these words, which we have here, it's necessary to put comma, love, comma, kiss, comma, XO, comma, etc. As for examples, so in a formal letter, I prepared some letters including the apology. Next one, the letter of condolence. Here you have the letter of congratulation. Thank you, bread and butter letter. By the way, someone asked me what is a bread and butter letter. So let me explain like this. So I was invited to one's place, and the hospitality and the family circle impressed me very much, and after coming back home, I was sent the so-called thank you bread and butter, where I will express my gratitude for hospitality and meeting some people there, etc. So for the example of practice, I prepared some example for you. For example, the task is you had stayed at the house, at friend's house for a week, and unfortunately left your notebook there, which we had several important documents. In a letter to your friend, for example, Ashat, you'll ask him to send you the notebook as soon as possible. Which of the following would be a suitable closure or conclusion for the letter? A. Yours faithfully. B. Yours sincerely. C. Warm regards. And D. All the above. So no need to think over this task, because the solution is here. The correct answer will be C. Why? When writing a letter to a friend, so we ended with a closing that expressed the friendly nature of our relationship. Therefore, so warm regards is the correct option as it does so. The other two options does not correspond to this case because of lack of the emotional contact and are strictly professional. So next task, for example, write a letter of invitation, considering informal invitation, to your foreign pen friend who lives in Canada, for example, and tell him about your wish to welcome him in a place located near by the Sirdarya River, providing a chance to swim and go fishing. Extend your hope to look forward to seeing him as soon as possible. This example of very good conclusion of the letter. That's all for today. Thanks for attention, students. Bye for now.